There have been controversies of inadequate funding for the People's Democratic Party Campaign Council. The South-West PDP chieftain has said that he's not surprised that funding has come up for mention, saying that the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, deserves some blame. Now, in an interview, the spokesperson of the Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Organization and Commissioner for Information in Delta State, Ose Anenih, said reports of lack of sufficient money to run around are not true. Meanwhile, scores of supporters of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar were injured on Wednesday when hoodlums attacked the convoy of the presidential hopeful in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Minutes before the presidential candidate took the stage, the spokesperson for the Atiku Campaign Council, Dino Malai, announced that the convoy of the campaign council was attacked and about 174 supporters were injured in the process, while over 100 vehicles in that convoy were vandalized. However, the director of media and publicity of the APC presidential campaign, Bayo Nanuga, said the attack could be the result of the infighting in Borno state chapter of the PDP, insisting that the APC had no hand in the violence. Now, joining us to discuss this is Ose Anenih. He's a PDP chieftain. Thank you so much, Ose, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the allegation that the PDP does not have money, that the PDP is having money issues within the party. Even though, you know, the spokesperson for the campaign has come out to say it's not true. This is not the first time that this kind of issue is cropping up. In 2015, there were also allegations of mismanagement of funds, and this also led to a late start in the campaigning for the presidential candidate again.
Thank you for having me again. You know, it's funny when it almost feels like Groundhog Day. Like every election cycle, you hear politicians saying that there's no money and they want money to be distributed. It also happened in 2019, if you remember, where certain people came out and said the PDP presidential campaign was also cash-strapped. It's not the case. I think for a lot of people, they see politics and especially election season as an opportunity to make fast money. One of the things that my candidate is, His Excellency Abubakar Atiku, is a respecter of the rule of law. We recently have the President, Buhari, he recently signed the Electoral Act, which actually sets a very hard cap on the amount of money a presidential campaign can spend, and, you know, just riding roughshod over the ambitions and aspirations of other maybe less well-heeled politicians. So I support them. And my point is that we are the ones saying that we are going to run a campaign that observes the Electoral Act. And I don't think, you know, that should be held against us. There are other campaigns that have no respect for that particular section, in Section 88(2), that have spent billions on media and on billboards and on rallies and on mobilizing thugs to invade and attack our campaigns. But we signed the peace accord in September. And again, I stress my candidate and my party are respecters of the rule of law. We will observe the limits set by INEC and the new Electoral Act.
About the issues surrounding the campaign in itself. We've seen River State was the first that was hit. We saw supporters of your presidential candidates being macheted and a couple of them being
to push on Nigeria. The attacks didn't just start in Borno. They didn't just happen in Kaduna. It happened in your leg. PDP members again were attacked. It's happening all over the country. Again, I stress that my candidates came into Abuja in September and signed the peace accord. We are respecters of the rule of law. We are respecters of peace. To a man, we believe this campaign should be about issues and about actually rescuing Nigeria. But we see every time we go to campaign, we sort of see people who might have an issue with our attempts to recover Nigeria come out and attack us with violence and with thugs. We saw it in Kaduna. We saw it most recently in Borno State, where in 3 separate places, our convoy, the presidential campaign convoy, was waylaid and attacked by thugs waving APC flags. I think it's disgraceful. I think it's condemnable. And I think especially worried with what is coming out of Borno State, where it appears that the Borno commissioner is in cahoots with the APC because he's alleging that no attacks occurred. We have tens of vehicles that were vandalized and destroyed. We have party members who are injured and in hospital, but a police commissioner will come out and tell the nation that those attacks were a figment of our imagination.
Reading what the commissioner said, and I'd like to, not in the exact words, he somewhat said that the vehicle of your presidential candidate was pelted by stones, and one of the gentlemen who was involved was apprehended, but that every other person was sick. He's saying he doesn't have any record of your party members. Ending drag between the G5 governors and your candidate, even though he's saying, look, I'm moving on. We've tried everything, but I'm moving on. How do you move on when your house is on fire? Especially that you need to win elections in those states. I'm asking you not because you're the candidate, but you obviously work closely with him.
So the last public appearance of the G5 governors was one that I think encouraged most members of the party. We saw Governor Autumn walk back some very, very heated comments he had made in Benue. We saw Governor Bala actually come out to reinforce the fact that he's 100% behind His Excellency Abubakar Atiku. And I think most importantly, we saw Governor Excellency